Well, happy Thanksgiving. It's so nice to have you here for the next 2 weeks. This week and next week, we're doing an entire Thanksgiving dinner. So I hope that you're going to take notes, take down some recipes, get a few ideas of maybe some different dishes to share with your family and friends during this Thanksgiving season. You know, I'm just reading here in Psalms 136. It says, "Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord and to the God of gods, for his mercy endureth forever. Oh, give thanks to the Lord of lords, for his mercy endureth forever." You think God's trying to tell us that he has a lot of mercy? I'm so thankful because there are some days I need his mercy daily. And you know, he says that his mercy and his grace are new every morning. Great is his faithfulness to us. You know, at this time when we're celebrating Thanksgiving, it's really important for us to keep our focus. We have so much to be thankful for. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world, we still have so much to be thankful for. This land that we live in is the greatest country in all the world, and I'm thankful for the United States of America more than ever. Our family and friends, those that God has placed in our lives, that's a lot to be thankful for. Your church, your upbringing, your roots, all need to be appreciated and to be thankful for where we are. You say, God, yeah, I don't have a perfect life. Well, no, none of us do. But we know that we have the key. When we have God in a relationship with him, we know then that we have what it takes to live a life that's successful and a life that is joyful and a life that's centered around God can make it through anything that life will handle to us. So we're thankful that you're here today, and we're going to get started. We're doing all the side dishes today, and next week we're going to do Tom Turkey himself. So come right back after the hint, and we'll get started. We'll be back in just a minute. Here's today's at-home hint. Even if your turkey comes with a pop-up thermometer, play it safe and check for doneness in several places using a conventional meat thermometer. Just be sure the thermometer's tip isn't touching the bone when you take the temperature.
For updates, pictures, stories, and more, like us on Facebook. To watch hundreds of classic episodes, subscribe to us on YouTube. And to get hundreds of free recipes, visit ctvn.org/athome.
Well, the first of the side dishes that we're doing for our Thanksgiving dinner is called lime Jello salad. And this was on our table from the time I was a little kid till my mother and dad passed away, and I still make it even now. But this was Mom's favorite. She loved this. So all you do, it's very simple, easy. It's just kind of a thing about layering. First of all, we're going to take a can of crushed pineapple, and we're just going to layer that in the dish. Just try to distribute it evenly on a 13 by 9. Now, if you're not going to have a lot of people, this will feed probably 10, 12 people, because you're going to cut it in squares. But you could make this and cut it in half, not have to have this large portions. And then after that, we're going to take some just plain chopped celery. The crunch on that is so good. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that say, "Oh, Arlene, we always made that too." Because, you know, back in like the 70s and 80s, this was a real, gee, am I dating myself? This was a few years ago. This was a real popular, enough chuckles over there, James. You can be replaced. Okay, anyway. This was a real popular salad because it was easy to do, of course. All right, now, after that, we have grated carrots. And again, we're just going to, don't you love the color? It's so pretty. Kind of fall, you know, the orange always makes you think of fall. And we're placing that all over, just like that. And you know, I mean, I really need roller skates today because we're going to do a lot of stuff. So stay with me. Don't answer the phone if it rings. Don't leave the television. Just stay with us, okay? Lots to do. Okay, so we have that layered, and it's evenly kind of distributed in the bottom of the pan. Now, we're going to incorporate this is Jello, this is lime Jello, a large package, and we have made it ahead of time so it's a little bit syrupy, but not set. You don't want it to set. And I've just creamed a little bit of a package of cream cheese, and we want to mix these together. And again, you have to have this soft so it will incorporate. And sometimes this takes a while for this to mix together and beat together because sometimes the cream cheese doesn't want to cooperate. So we're going to give it a whirl here, and hopefully it will. And you just have to keep working with it until you don't have any little bits of cream cheese. That's the important thing. And you know, sometimes you'll think it'll never happen, and then all of a sudden it pulls together. So don't worry about it. If it doesn't, you're going to put a little bit of dollop of either Cool Whip or mayonnaise on the top. You say mayonnaise? Yeah, because this is a lot of vegetables in here, and it would work fine. So if it doesn't completely incorporate, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. The taste of the cream cheese is what you're really looking for. And you can see if I would stand here for probably 5 minutes, this would all incorporate very well. Don't have the luxury of the time, but we have another one I'm going to show you at the end of the program so that you'll see exactly how it's supposed to look. So if you were doing this at home, you would continue to beat this until it was incorporated very well. And basically, you're just going to pour that over top, just like that. Simple and easy to do. And just try to redistribute the color like that. Now you're going to cover this, and this is going to go into the refrigerator, and this is going to chill. This you can make the day before. Try to make things the day before so you don't have so much to do the day of. This needs to chill, so you really have to make this the day before, okay? The next thing we want to do in our series of side dishes for our Thanksgiving dinner, we're going to make a corn pudding. And this is kind of a tradition too. Don't you love holidays and all the traditional things that it brings? As soon as you start to think about Thanksgiving, you think, of course, the turkey, but you think about all the things that you've always had or you've always enjoyed. Well, this is one. This is a corn pudding, and we're going to take 3 eggs, and we're going to beat those slightly before we add them to our corn. This is a 17-ounce can of corn, whole kernel corn, that you'll want to be sure that you drain, all right? Let me get my fork here. And we're just going to beat these up a little bit, kind of like that. Okay, and we're going to add that to the corn. And then we have a little bit of melted butter. This would be about a tablespoon, that's all. See, not too bad, just a tablespoon. And we have a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of sugar. Oh, I have the sugar. That's right, that was sugar, and I'm going to do the salt here. Okay. This is our coarse salt. It really adds a lot of good flavor. All right. And we also are going to do 1/3 cup of finely chopped onion. That's going to add a wonderful taste. Okay. Now we're mixing it up. We've got the eggs in there. Everything's in there. Just like that, okay? Now what we're going to do, we have to add some scalded milk. And I have that. That's about 2 cups of scalded milk. And you kind of want to temper it just a little bit. Let's pour a little bit of that off. Get rid of that. Okay? And you just want to stir so that you don't have scrambled eggs, if you know what I mean. So you want to just temper it a little bit so that, and then you keep adding. This is going to go into a casserole, and then it's going to go into a bain-marie. And that is a water bath that we're going to set in to the oven, and then we're going to place our corn pudding in that water bath, and that's just going to cook it beautifully. Okay, that's basically, how simple could it be? It's a wonderful, wonderful dish. This seems like anything with corn like this is always great in the fall. I don't know why, but that's the way we feel. And I could tell you that if, perchance, you've maybe canned some corn or put it in the freezer, when you were doing your canning, this would be a great time to pull a package of that corn that you cut off the cob and it's in kernels. This would be a great time to use it. All right, now let's go to the oven. We're going to take this and our water. The oven should be on about 350. And let me pull this out here. Use safety always when you're working with the oven. Always, please, use safety. You need the dish to be just a little bit larger than the casserole. We bring the casserole over, and we set it into this dish, and now we're going to pour water, hot water, all around the outside of that dish. And that's your bain-marie, just like that. To about 2 inches, something like that, just till you can still, it's not going to come to the top, and it's not going to come to the top of this. But that water bath, what that does, that adds moisture and it adds, makes it cook up like a custard. It's delicious. You're going to love it. Okay, let's see. Well, we've got a few other things to do, but I think we need to take a moment, clean up, and we'll be right back after this message.
If you love At Home with Arlene Williams, then subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of episodes with all your favorite recipes, holidays, and friends.
Say hi to your fan club.
Hi, fan club.
And don't forget to click the bell so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
Well, welcome back to our special preparation of Thanksgiving programs that we're doing today and also next week. So be sure to mark the calendar. You don't want to miss the next week's second part because it has to do with Tom Turkey. We're going to show you what to do, how to clean, everything. And this is just such fun. There's just so much memory comes to me. I can remember standing on the back porch while my mother made pies early on Thanksgiving morning, and my job was to cool down the lemon filling because she'd bake the crusts. And it was cool outside, and I'd be here, my brothers are in there looking at watching the parades and all this stuff, and I'd be out there cooling down the lemon pudding. But you know, I wouldn't trade that memory for anything. And that's what it's all about. It's important just to keep the memories going with the family. Get the kids involved. It's a holiday. Why should you do all the work? Let the kids get involved too. All right, now we're going to do our sweet potato souffle. Basically, in our mixer, we have 3 pounds about of sweet potatoes that have been boiled and cooked and mashed. You can use yams. You can use those, or you can use sweet potatoes. And this is about 3 pounds that has been mashed, okay? Now to this we're going to add 2 slightly beaten egg yolks. I'm sorry, whole eggs. Use it all. Sometimes you just want the yolks, but this one we're going to use the whole egg. Okay, that's 2. And again, we're going to beat them with our fork, just slightly, because the mixer will do the rest of the mixing. That's going in like that. Okay. Next, we're going to use 3/4 cup of brown sugar, but we're only going to put about 1/4 of a cup in it now because we're going to put a streusel topping on top of this. So we'll do the 1/4 cup now. And salt, again. You say, why do you have that in a grinder? Because this is the coarse salt, and I like the flavor of this so much better than the other salt because when you grind it, it bursts the flavor of the salt. Okay, so we have salt, and then we're going to do cinnamon to taste. Okay, and we like cinnamon, so I'm going to put a lot of cinnamon in this. Okay, and then we're going to let it whirl here and see what happens. This is going to mix up. This is going to make a really wonderful, the eggs in that makes it raise, and it's not a thick, dense sweet potato. Now, you say, well, did Mama make this? No. She used to make the candied sweets all the time. And this is one that I've been making, and everybody loves it, so I just keep making it. Now we're going to add a little orange juice to this because it's a little bit thick. And you just add orange juice until you think it's the consistency of a creamy. It has to be creamy, not thick and holds its shape at all. It should be very creamy because this is going to bake in the oven, not long, but about 30 minutes. So we just need maybe a 1/2 cup, 1/4 of a cup. It depends on your potatoes too, okay? So we're going to add just a little bit more. Okay, there we are. I think that's about it. We'll give it another big whirl, and we're done, okay? Now what you're going to do, you take this off, get the blade off. Whoa, babies flying everywhere. The cameramen here close to me, they always wear the meal that I'm preparing because it kind of gets wild in here sometimes. Okay, and you have, we're going to pour this right into our casserole. It's beautiful. Isn't this is another one of those fall colors. When you look at this, like pumpkin, you know? Everything just brings more memories. And that's great. Nothing like a good memory. Sure beats bad memories, right, Jim? Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, get it all out. Make sure the bowl is clean. Now, you're going to smoothen this out. Smooth it all over to the corners, just like that. Oh, how my dad loved those sweet potatoes. Oh, and he couldn't wait for it. Oh, he just loved them. And of course, Mama, she really knew how to do it too. Now for the topping. This is interesting. What we're going to do is cover, first we're going to place the pecans on. And this is just chopped pecans. I need my cloth. Hold on just a minute here. I've got sweet potatoes all over my fingers. I don't like that. All right, now we're going to do the pecans. And they're just chopped. And you know, you could put this in a deeper dish, but don't do it, because the pecan topping is what really makes this good. And you want everybody to have some of that. So if you put it in a deeper dish, that crust is only on a little bit on the top, and then everybody doesn't get to taste it. So fight the urge and put it into a 13 by 9 or thereabouts size of a casserole. Now we're going to do brown sugar. This is what makes that topping. And you just take, this is about a half a cup, because remember we put the other 1/4 cup in the potatoes themselves. And just distribute it evenly, just like that, all right? And then we're going to drizzle with some butter. And you just want to make sure that you get this evenly drizzled over the top. And you know, that's basically the brown sugar. If you added flour, you'd really have streusel. We don't want flour here, but that's your basic streusel topping. It's what we have here. Now this will go into a 375-degree oven. It needs to be preheated, and it only really bakes for about 20 minutes. You can do this a day ahead, and you can bring it out and allow some extra time if you have it refrigerated, because you'll need it, okay? Always test in the center. If it's hot and bubbly there, it's good to go. All right, into the oven. Along with the corn pudding, delicious.
To get all the recipes from today's show, plus hundreds of others, just click the link in the video description or visit our website, ctvn.org/at-home.
All right, what would Thanksgiving be without pie? And my dad was a great pie lover. And he would say, you know, if you can make a pie, you're a good cook. Well, I'm not the greatest pie baker. I'm okay. But I learned how to make one of my dad's favorites. Mom used to make mincemeat, and probably a lot of you ladies out there remember mincemeat pie. Well, Mama used to make it all the time. And then when I started to cook, I made a raisin walnut pie, just to try it. Well, we served it for Thanksgiving that year. And from thereafter, Dad would say, you know what? You really don't need to make the mincemeat. Let's just have that raisin walnut. I don't think my mother ever forgave me of that, but I think it's okay because we all enjoyed it. What I have here is a pie crust. And you know what? It doesn't have to be yours homemade. Buy the ones in a little box. It's okay. Nobody will know the difference. These are wonderful. Okay? All right. And you just take it out of the package and you line your pie plate with it. Now I'm going to walk you through the ingredients of this. And I did it ahead of time because it has to cool a little bit. It works better if you let it cool. And what this is, and you just take a pot and you put 1 cup of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 1/3 cup of water, 2 cups of seedless raisins, a teaspoon of orange peel, 1/2 teaspoon of lemon peel, 1/3 cup of orange juice, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and you just put that in and you turn it on medium-high heat and you start to stir it until it thickens. When it thickens, you'll see it'll change color. It'll be like a milky color and then it'll start to get real brown. Bring it off the stove and stir in about 3/4 cup of wonderful walnuts. And what you have when it cools down is your filling for Dad's favorite walnut pie. Oh, this is so good, I can't believe it. Okay, so then you just push this, pour it out of the bowl, and put it right into the crust, just like so. And you want to make sure that you evenly distribute it around so it doesn't have a bump or a high spot or whatever. Just go around it and smooth it out. This, we had a few taste testers on this. I tell you, they all liked it, so Dad knew what he was talking about. Anyway, now we're going to put the top crust on. You want to cut a little square in the top crust for an air vent so that when it bakes, it doesn't split the crust. And see what I'm doing here? I'm taking that bottom crust and mashing it with the top crust, just like that. And what I'll do is bring that top crust over, down and around, and then you know what happens? It never bubbles out and cooks all over the stove. So we're going to keep doing this the whole way around, just like so. Simple and easy to do. Please don't be intimidated by this. This is not hard at all. It really, really isn't. It works quickly. Just getting used to it. You know, if you have to make pumpkin pies, make them. That'll be fine. Just be sure that you include the things that your family really enjoy. And you have to have pumpkin pie. Maybe your kids don't like raisins, so maybe you don't make a raisin walnut, but definitely make a pumpkin pie. Now I'm going to flute this. This is the way you make it pretty. 2 fingers and a thumb the whole way around. That's all it is. Look how simple. You say, oh, Arlene, I could never do that. Sure you could. Better than leaving it look straight and flat. That doesn't look good. I can't wait to show you on the next program how to do Tom the turkey. He's here and he's ready to get ready to get cooked, and can't wait to do that. We're going to pop this one in the oven at 400 for just about 45 minutes, 40 minutes, and you can put a little sugar on top of that if you want to. If not, it's okay. And we're going to be back with you next week for a very special edition of Tom Turkey for the Thanksgiving dinner. Be sure to join us then. It wouldn't be the same without you.
Food provided by McGinnis Sisters Special Food Stores in Brentwood and Monroeville. Taste the world.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home. Thank you for watching.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.